This is why I have always said men should be seen and not heard.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Umaomi, aka Petite Diva, and in this video we're looking at the comments that the husband of a content creator, digital strategist, speaker, presenter, and entrepreneur said about their marriage. Now, the content creator's name is Nissy, and I believe she is popular in the UK, and she and her husband are Christians, and they have what people call the kingdom marriage. Now, he said some things online. I believe it was a podcast, an interview or something, and that got a lot of people talking. So in this video, we're going to check out the exact comments that he made about the content creator and their marriage, what people have to say about his comments, and then I'll come back to share my thoughts. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, let's get into this video.
Saying to my wife, I love women. I love women. She looked at me like, what do you mean? I said, babe, I'm attracted to women. Now, of course, you are my woman. But I would be very naive to tell myself, oh, because I'm married, cheating is below. No, it's not. This is why you're seeing big men of God falling, because they've almost became naive. I remember I heard someone say, there are certain men of God who reach a certain level that they can no longer cheat. I said, what do you mean by that? It's that kind of naivety that has people lost. And I said that's obviously the initial statement I said to my wife was shocking, but then I explained it and she was like, oh no, I understand. So we have some blunt, honest, transparent conversations you wouldn't believe. My wife knows everything. I don't care. I don't care. Because if I was to lose her, I wouldn't care. You know, my life things wouldn't matter. I need her to know everything. There's no barrier. There's no secrets. Here, take it. Have everything. But yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here.
That was amazing.
I remember telling her at Waterloo Station, I said, baby, your breath stinks. And that was one of the most amazing things that ever happened in our relationship that became a marriage. Because she was offended. She was very offended. And I said, listen, as your husband to be, if I can't tell you your breath stinks, then who can?
Facts.
Who can?
Yeah.
And for those who know the marriage that myself and my wife have, there is no barrier. There is no barrier. I remember one time telling my wife, this is another thing, and then I'll leave it here.
Please stop dating and marrying people who don't like you.
I can't control, the way that my husband's acting. Maybe he's getting on my nerves, so I can't control him. I can at least control this one thing.
My wife knows everything. I don't care. I don't care. Because if I was to lose her, I wouldn't care.
I can't imagine being on this earth without you behind the camera. And then I start crying because...
So I can't stay alive and enjoy my life?
No.
I have to die.
And you can never ever have anybody outside of me, no?
I can't.
No.
But I would be very naive to tell myself, oh, because I'm married, cheating is below. No, it's not.
I always didn't see conflict being resolved in the best way. So my immediate response was to just shut off.
I remember telling her at Waterloo Station, I said, baby, your breath stinks. And that was one of the most amazing things that ever happened in our relationship that became a marriage.
So today I'm crying. It's always because of my husband. Oh, guys, I pray you guys find love like this. I pray you guys... Why are you crying?
Do you remember that time in Waterloo Station when I told you that your breath stinks?
Yeah.
Nothing has changed since then.
Link in bio to purchase my book, Don't Date a Disaster, A Guide to Avoiding Mr. Wrong. Ebook is currently free, by the way. So you don't end up marrying a husband that's going to humiliate you on the internet like this.
Internet's making sermons about Nissy being embarrassed. She's here spending my money buying makeup. Make sure you're happy in the real life. In real life. So, babe, come. So, listen, guys, I know it's not Louis who should be probably Prada or whatever.
Okay.
But, you know,
Yeah.
after I've embarrassed you today, is this good enough for you? Is it?
It's okay.
It's okay.
You're slowly starting to make up for it.
But to be fair, actually, no, let me ask them a question. Sorry.
Okay.
XV123, is this okay? Is that good enough?
Yeah, you've got to make sure that you satisfy them.
Yeah, I care more about what social media has to say rather than my wife.
It's okay.
You know what I mean?
It's alright. But all I'm gonna say is that this is only a little bit. You need to buy more.
I need to buy more because of the embarrassment.
Yeah, absolutely. You embarrass me. Actually.
So this is the person who has been embarrassed, is distressed. What do they say? Kangamu tema.
Good. My skin looks.
Babe, you're beautiful.
Sorry.
You're
Okay, so we've seen what exactly he said, what the clips that have been trending. We've seen the aftermath of people talking about the clip and how he's reacting to it and how she's reacting to it. I would love to hear your own thoughts about the whole situation. So please leave your comment in the comment section. Now let's check out what people have to say about the whole situation and what was said and even how they reacted.
Okay, cool. So telling your wife that her breath stinks. Okay, that's strike one. Telling your wife that no man is above cheating. That's strike two. You they whine me. You they whine. You they whine. Wait. Hold on a minute. Do you know what it is? Marriage is good. Marriage looks good on paper. But if you're not ready for the journey that comes with it, stay in your bed. I love a pet animal. I'm telling you. Stay up in bed and just love a pet animal. If you're not ready for what comes with marriage, hey.
I was saying to my wife, I love women. I love women. She looked at me like,
when did the husbands get together and decide they're going to humiliate their wives? When did that meeting happen? I'm single and sometimes I'll be at home and I'll be like, oh, I'm by myself, I'm a bit lonely, you know, like, I wish I had somebody here. And then I go onto Rihanna's internet and I see a husband humiliating their wife. And I remember, no one's son is currently able to humiliate me. And I feel instantly better. I feel instantly better. Because I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand why this keeps happening. How can you come to the internet or whoever you're talking to, maybe it's a podcast or a recording, and tell them that you've told your wife that you love women. There's nothing that she can do, but you love women, and that her breath stinks. What? Is everyone okay? Well, no, the husbands are not okay. Marriage is looking more and more like a humiliation ritual for women, and they're wondering why the rates of marriage is going down. They're wondering why the birth rate's declining. You don't have to go much further. Go onto the internet and you will see why. Women don't want to be humiliated like this. This is ridiculous. Part of me is really hoping that this is some sort of scare, this is some sort of like prank, something that they can like come back from, because I promise you this now, I would hate to know what conversations are happening in that house right now. I would hate to know it. Anyway, stay safe in these streets, ladies.
Seen the whole brouhaha about Nissy and her husband and the clothing, and guys, in fact, I don't like talking about people's marriage because you just don't know what others are going through. Like, I remember one time, I think that was years ago, with Nissy, one of her YouTube videos, she believed that the guy that she's ever going to be with was meant to buy all the wedding rings and everything. But I think Ben did say that he does not believe that a man should buy his wedding ring and the woman is meant to buy the man's ring for him. Nissy did not agree to this, but I think the way he said it, I was like, oh, wow. So, and obviously, I think his reason was quite valid, but I think the way it came across, like, no, you're meant to buy my ring for me. I'm not buying my ring. If you're not buying my ring, if you're not buying my ring for me as your husband, I'm not going to buy your ring for you as my wife, which I thought would be like, the media, how they'll take it as well might be big. But yeah, he definitely seems like them ones that would tell my friends, like, I taught my wife how to do this. I taught her how to do that. But, you know, I taught you how to do this. But yeah, it is what it is.
oh, because I'm married, cheating is below. No, it's not.
I have just one question. As a married woman, is cheating beneath your wife? actually make that 2 questions. Should your wife, come on the internet and spread your dirty linen? Or is it just you?
As a man of God, why would you do this to your woman? That's the mother of your child, the mother of your kids. You're supposed to love her, protect her, no matter what. But you're out here on social media telling people her business that we don't even want to know. This woman works so hard, to keep the image so clean. She has to stay away from drama. But guess what? The man who's supposed to love her, the man that's supposed to protect her, is out here telling us a business that we don't even want to know about. Why it is a good thing, because if you think there's something wrong with your woman needs help, of course you speak to her, but that's stay between you two. You don't have to pick up your phone, start recording and telling us about her business that we don't want to know. Come on, brother. As a man of God, how can you do this to her, man? Why, brother? Everyone think you sick in the head. Everyone think you are a hater.
People saying that video and taken out of context. How has it been taken out of context? I saw a video of this man and his wife playing We Listen, We Don't Judge, okay? And this man said, oh, babe, you know when we're at Waterloo Station and I told you something about your breath? And then she was like, okay. Her face, like, she felt uncomfortable because really and truly, where's this conversation going? Then my man proceeds to say, well, nothing has changed ever since. Although she was laughing, she said, oh, I can't believe you just said that. Never in the history of, oh, I can't believe you just said that, has that sentence ever been for good things or things we approve of. This is the mother of your kids or child or, and you have put her out there in such a way that she probably feels very vulnerable, or she probably feels a bit insecure now because people that know her from this video now, all they can think about is her breath. Mind, it's not everything that you see that you wow. It's not everything that you see. Like, my heart genuinely hurts and bleeds for this woman, because at the same time it could be one of those manipulative situations where when she's not comfortable with something and she tries to speak out, it's like, you can't take a joke. Like, why do you have to deep everything? Like, life is not that deep, Like, this is just me being honest. Like, bro, well, honestly, if this is love, I'm happy for them all, because at the end of the day, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So if this is love and if this is how they've been handling and dealing with their marriage, it is well. It is in God's hands.
I'm going to bed, yeah, but I just want to say that if you're a Christian content creator or you are a creator who is a Christian, understand that you cannot afford to be reckless with your words. You can't speak anyhow. You can't say things anyhow. Don't chase the desire to go viral and speak as if you don't have the Holy Spirit in you, and speak as if you are someone who has no common sense in you. Especially as a believer, you know how powerful our words are. Use wisdom. The Holy Spirit is there to give you wisdom. Use that wisdom. Apply that wisdom. And understand that it is not everything that you must say.
Evidently, a lot of you, also when I'm speaking, submit. Yeah?
Oh, sorry, I have to submit.
Evidently, a lot of you on here are very, very sick.
Felicity, I think the whole internet at this point wants to know, how are you submitting to a man who has very little emotional intelligence, very little wisdom, and very little leadership? It's absolutely unfathomable how any man who loves and respects his wife would think it's appropriate to speak about his wife's oral hygiene in front of the whole big internet and leave her so exposed to public ridicule, first-hand embarrassment, and be the laughing stock of the week. No matter how transparent you want to be about your marriage, some conversations are to be left in private. Nissy, your husband has publicly humiliated you and he hasn't even apologized for it. Now, public humiliation is probably one of the most painful feeling of embarrassment anybody could possibly feel, and it's even worse when it's coming from your own husband.
So this is the person who has been embarrassed, is distressed. What do you say, Kalamu Dema? Babe, you're beautiful. You're
embarrassment. Guys, there's actually a reason why J. Cole said don't save her. She don't want to be saved, because genuinely, there's me who loves to yap. There's no think piece. There's no think piece because there's nothing to think and say. This is the spirit of pick-meism, where being picked is enough. Everyone take your lessons from it. Use socials as a great study on the human behavior. Use it as a anthropological study and discovery. Take what you need and keep it pushing. Because she's enjoying. She's happy. She's embarrassed. It's fine. And we're happy for you, babe. Like, where else can we go from here? Absolutely nowhere. Leave them where they are. And this is the lesson of the day. Mwah.
See, I'm just going to tell you right now, yeah, when you enter into a relationship, you just need to close your mouth. You need to ferme la bouche. Like, I can't stress this enough. You just need to close your mouth. Because you have to realize that social media does not understand how you and your partner communicate. And when you're bringing stories that happen in your relationship and you're bringing it onto the internet, it leaves everyone to interpret it the way they want to interpret it. And trust me, that is not good because it can always go so left. Because if you start bringing personal conversations onto the internet, everyone's just going to break it down with their own knowledge and understanding. And when they break it down with their own knowledge and understanding, you cannot dictate how they should interpret what you have just said. Because some of you need to understand that it's not everything that happens in your relationship that you share. It's not every intimate moment that you bring to social media. It's not every story that you tell. It's not every personal conversation that you tell to people. Because it can go so left for you. Like, all you need to do is just shut up and live your blissful life, or what you deem to be a blissful life with your partner. Because some of you, everybody would think that you're in a good relationship and you just come and just open your mouth, wow, and you just spit out rubbish, and then people will now realize that it's foolishness that you guys are even doing in that place.
This is why I'm no longer looking for a so-called man of God. What you have to understand is that a lot of men have contempt for women. So what Christian men do is hide their contempt for women behind their religion. Because their religion teaches them that they are stewards, that they have to lead and steward women, and so they convince themselves, and I promise you, they are convinced that it is their God-given duty to bestow what they would call, I don't know, the truth or hard truths or whatever, and it's their duty as men of God to do so. A lot of Christian men, and I'm going to find a lot of people are saying this, are incredibly delusional, right? Because when you hear this, you hear contempt, right? But I am seeing other Christian men be like, oh yeah, like, I know what he's saying, because like, as a Christian, you shouldn't put yourself in such situations because, you know, you can sin or whatever. If I now say the same thing that Nissy T's husband said, if now I come and say, as a Christian woman, I'm gonna sin, like I'm like cheating above me, like I'll cheat, I'm just a woman. All types of Jezebel. You'll call me all types of Jezebel. But for men, it's okay. Mind you, we ovulate, you don't. Okay.
This is why I have always said men should be seen and not heard. In the history of men existing, and I'm talking about when God formed Adam, when has a man ever had access to a mic and said something tangible? When has anything good come from that? Even when you think to yourself, they're singing, this should be fine, it's safe. Look at what Genuine's doing in SeaWorld with that mic. They're the men that come and say, I'm led by Christ. You're led by Christ. Not 1 second did the spirit of discernment descend upon you and tell you that you're talking arrant nonsense. Because I watched it and I was like, what do we do with this information? Like, okay, you've said all this to us. What are we, like, you know what? Women aren't setting enough boundaries for me. I know you can't control anyone. People do what they want to do. It's mad that your man would feel comfortable going online and saying this stuff. It's quite abnormal. And my preference would have been that the both of them just shut the hell up after that. I kind of was like, you know what? It's done. It's a bit embarrassing. It will fizzle. Something else will happen. Some will get pregnant again. It's fine. Instead, you've come online and you've done this like PR shoot in like a trouser suit as if you guys are Barack and Michelle and you're responding to the divorce rumours. I think as a rule of thumb, as a man, if you feel the need to speak, which I don't know why you would, just ask yourself, do these people need to know this information?
Why are people protecting Nissy? I don't know how to say it, yeah. Trying to say that, oh, what he meant is that him and his wife have an understanding. But what has that understanding got to do with the general public? Okay, fine. You have an understanding between you and your wife. You can tell her that her breath stinks, whatever. That's great. You understand? You should be able to tell your wife that her breath stinks and vice versa. But why are you telling the public? Why are you telling us? Do you understand? And I've seen other clips of him saying some mean stuff like, don't hide behind my understanding wife, bro. You're bullying the girl. Do you get it? You're being mean to the girl. I saw one video, he's telling her, oh, your lips are dry, you got a filter, blah, blah, blah. And she never even had a filter on. Do you understand? You don't play those kind of jokes with your wife, bro. Do you get it? Coming online. Anything that's going on with your wife's pussy smells, her breath stinks. You come up with a smell prevention plan together and you keep it in-house. Why are you telling the internet, bro? We don't want to know. We don't care.
Nissy came out and debunked all the think pieces. She said, me and my husband do this. I'm cool with everything he said. We know what we can and cannot say about each other on the internet. I'm not embarrassed. Strangers are telling her she's lying. Apparently she's always been a pick-me and having a husband is her world. Her and her husband, Ben, posted themselves out shopping. Then the people in the comments started criticizing the products they were buying. They said, oh, they're in an outlet. It's cheap makeup. He's only spending about £2. So when I'm telling you people are miserable and people are haters, you think I'm being miserable and a hater. As a man, if you now take your missus out and you spend £2 and you buy her Clinique, because apparently Clinique is cheap, they'll start cussing you for that. They'll start even cussing her because she's using Clinique. So this started from he doesn't back his wife to when he does buy his wife stuff, oh, it's abuse because he's buying a cheap shit. Again, these people are single because I'm going on their pages and I'm looking at what they're posting. I'm like, you ain't got no man and no ring. A lot of people pass off this activism as social justice, but a lot of it is frustrated people. Look at the comment section. From time you're seeing these things on Shade Boroughs and Twitters and stuff, you know who be in them comments, bro. It's called Shade Borough. It's a borough of people willing to throw shade. The moral of the story is just be aware of what you post online. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you put on the internet out to the public is subject to criticism. People might misconstrue what you're saying. It is what it is. You can put a picture up saying I'm beautiful. Someone's going to say, no, you're ugly. And the game is the game.
If we're being real, what Nissy's husband said, yeah, it's not completely wrong. Now for him to say that he's not above cheating, to me is wild. However, if you look at it from the viewpoint of there's certain things that you will say that you will never ever do, okay, can you really say that? Because there's probably times when many people or you have done something that you said that you'll never do and you've ended up doing it, okay? Now, I'm not saying that one wouldn't try to avoid that situation at all, but you're not God. How do you know for a fact, 125%, that you wouldn't do something that you said that you weren't going to do? You never know. So if it's the principle, I get it. But the way that it's said is ridiculous. Now, you might say him saying that, oh, he told his wife that, you know, she has bad breath and whatever. In my opinion, there's actually no issue with that. Being in a marriage or even being in a long-term relationship or anything, if you're with someone that you're going to be stepping out with them, if their breath is whatever or they're kicking or like, that should be a conversation that you should be aiming to be able to get to. You should be able to have those type of discussions. However, telling the internet is where we draw the line. The things that were said didn't need to be public knowledge, okay? We didn't need to know this information. Now the whole world knows that your wife's breath kicks like Jet Li, and that is insane. We shouldn't be able to come on the internet and say that. Things could have been phrased as such that you have stated the importance of the fact that you've gotten to the point in your relationship when you can be completely transparent and you can have uncomfortable conversations. I honestly believe if he had reversed it and said that there was a time when she had told him that he wasn't smelling too good, there would be no backlash. Mainly because obviously him being a man is sort of quote unquote standard that men are messy and they don't really take care of themselves.
Can we please speak about this whole Nissy T and her husband situation? Like, it absolutely has nothing to do with me, but I always like to involve myself in things that have nothing to do with me. Because if it's out there for the public to see, me, I'm part of the public, and I will formulate an opinion. We need to stop marrying because, what's it called? We were promised, oh, you will get this house, you'll get this bag, you get this, you will get that. Marry a person because they are a good person. Otherwise, you'll be going through what our good sis Nissy T is going through. For those of you that are not aware, basically, I think she's like a social media personality, and her husband basically came online saying, I've talked to her about how I look at other women, and like if she was to leave me today, I wouldn't care. Like if she was to divorce me today, I wouldn't care. God forbid my man ever comes onto this net and makes a mockery of me like this. God forbid. Because just tell me you hate me at that point. Because what do you mean? What do you mean? No, she's clearly not okay with all these things. But obviously in front of her man, she's going to be going, yeah, babe, it's okay. I support you.
So I know nobody asked me, but I really wanted to speak on this topic. The whole drama with Nissy and her husband, that podcast that he did. I think the idea he was trying to get across was basically that they have a very honest and blunt, open relationship. So I have been following Nissy since she was on Backchat days, and I've always liked her. I love intelligent women, women that just seem like they have their heads screwed on. I've always loved that about her. And I know you're not really supposed to envy other people's relationships, but I've always loved the fact that, like, Christian relationships, like good ones, I love the fact that they pray together, that kind of thing. I thought it was really inspirational. But this is where discernment comes in, like knowing how to judge a situation well. That is literally what discernment means. What really triggers me about this whole situation is that Nissy has kept a relatively clean image. If you compare her with the other Backchat members, she hasn't had any big dramas, no controversies. She's really minded her business and stayed out of drama. I love what she stands for, and I've been following her journey. And I feel like if you are going to start being controversial, then you should make that decision for yourself. It shouldn't come from someone else making that decision for you. He's basically put her in a really tough situation, and I do feel bad for her. But on the other hand, I feel like people are taking it too far. I'm seeing comments like, this kind of man avoids me and my entire generation, you know, all those kind of things. Don't marry a man who hates you. How do you know that? We don't know anything about their relationship. I think the less we know about certain people's relationships, the better. Like, we could have just seen them from afar, or the little cute videos that they make here and there. But when you do these kind of things, you open yourself up to a lot of criticism. And even if they don't care right now and things are all good, at some point these ideas that you've allowed people to bring into your relationship will start to seep in. And when you're lying in bed at night, you're probably thinking about it, or something will happen, and then she will go back to one of the comments, because you're probably reading the comments. Even if you're not reading the comments, people that know you will be telling you, so and so said this. This is what people are saying about you on the internet, and the doubling down of this whole situation. #embarrassment, #free Nissy. I think it's so cringe to me.
So we've seen what people have to say about the whole situation, about everything that he said, and how they feel like he was embarrassing her, and the dynamics in their marriage might not be exactly what they thought. Anyway, my own opinion about it is that he was saying some things that, yes, I understand what he was trying to say, but no, he did not have to say it in public. Now, he was talking about the fact that a lot of men of God would feel that they are both cheating, but he was telling her that he knows that he's not above cheating as a man, and I understand how he is well aware that that can happen. Men usually can cheat, and he's telling her that he knows that even though that he's supposed to be a man of God, he's supposed to love God, he knows that that can still happen, and he can falter in that way. Yes, I understand, but I have a problem with him saying it like as if no, he has no control over him cheating. It looks like he's saying that all men can cheat, and even though they are men of God, they can still cheat. Not saying it like, even though it is a tendency that everybody can cheat, or knowing that my character and this and that, I will not cheat. But he's just like, I'm not above cheating. So in case it happens, he would have said, oh, this was my weak point, or this was my weak place. I don't know. And I did not like that about it, but I understand the point he was trying to make. Now, he was saying that if he loses her, he's not going to be bothered and the rest. Meanwhile, she's crying on video and saying that she cannot imagine him getting married or leaving her or being with another person. And it looked like she was pregnant at that time that video was shot, of her crying and saying all she was saying. But to me, it just showed the difference in how they are taking the marriage. Now, I would say from the short clips I've seen, even though I don't know the two of them, let me say that I don't know the two of them. I just saw the statement. I just saw one of the statements and I was like, let me check out these people. But it looks like the woman, in my own opinion, likes him more than he likes her. I'm just gonna say that. I feel like she loves him more than he loves her. But she has all the qualities that he needs in a partner and he can work with, and that is why he's in that relationship, in that marriage. Now, I might be wrong, but this is what I'm seeing, just looking at the clips from what they both said. So it's just a balance that I don't particularly like, but what works for them is what works for them. Now, he also talked about the fact that nothing is off limits in between the two of them, that they talk to each other and everything, and they say everything. And he told her that her breath stinks when I think they were courting or they were already engaged. And he's saying that yes, if you cannot say that to her, if you cannot tell her that it's not a marriage where they are communicating well. Now, I understand that he can say that to her, but he cannot say it to us. He should not let us hear. He said it in 2024 from the clip that was shown on a live video or something, and saying that it has not changed since when he told her that. And that, I felt, is very mean. Why would you do that? But she's not saying anything wrong with it, because her reaction was like it was something they were joking about. I don't know. But I felt like it was very mean of him to do that on camera. Now saying it again in 2025 on a podcast, I don't know. It's weird. It's bad behavior. It's mean behavior, in my own opinion. Because why would you say that in public? Why should we know? Why should we know? There's no reason for us to know that. There's no reason for us to know that you thought her breath stinks and you told her and you're thinking that she's not doing anything about it. There's no reason for us to know. That's between you and your wife and your family. It's not relevant to us. So why are you saying it online? Now, if he's trying to say that they communicate and nothing is off limit, there are better ways to say that they say everything, and even the most embarrassing things I tell her, we tell each other. That is a better way of communicating how you guys communicate in your marriage. But you don't have to give an example of your breath stinks or her breath stinks. I felt like it was mean. It was not necessary for us to know. Now, a lot of people had things to say about his revelation, and definitely a lot of people are of the opinion that those things that I said were very embarrassing to her, and it showed bad character. And they are trying to make it look like they're not bothered. They are happy in real life, and people that are saying anything about it are unhappy and should mind their business. And that's why people are saying I'm embarrassing her, she's spending my money, she's buying makeup and the rest, and she's laughing and kicking and everything, and making it look like the people that are talking about it are just busybodies and just trying to bring them down, and they are not having it, and they're having the time of their life. And I'm like, is it necessary? Why do you have to make a video like that? I know that it can be quite disturbing that people are talking bad about him and saying he's embarrassing her, but is it necessary to give a reply, whatever way you want to give it, in a, I think it is trying to be in a petty way, trying to look, you people are not, you're not it, you have no opinion, you have no right over our marriage and the rest of our relationship. But then again, you are the one that brought it to social media. You are the one that said it. We didn't know what was going on in your marriage. We didn't know what you guys were communicating. You said it online. So however people interpret it, you necessarily cannot tell them how to interpret it, because people's comprehension skills are different. You said what you wanted to say. You probably did not say it the way that people wanted it to be said. or people did not understand the way that you were trying to say it. And you cannot blame people because everybody's comprehension skill, interpretation skill is different. Some people will understand what you're saying and vibe with it. Some people will not. A lot of people are not because they felt like it's not necessary. But I understand the concept or the context is trying to say. I understand the reason why he's saying those things, but I felt like the delivery of the message was wrong. Anyway, that is my thought about the whole situation. I would love to hear what you think about what was said by the husband of Nissy T, what people had to say about the whole revelation that he made, and also what you think about his little video showing that all is well in their marriage and nobody is being embarrassed and nobody is having a sad time. So please leave your comment in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.